Hi everyone, I am Michael Parlato. For my final paper, I decided to choose the topic of price gouging in times of disaster. Price gouging occurs when a seller increases the prices of goods, services, or commodities to a level much higher than is considered reasonable or fair. Usually, this event occurs after a demand or supply shock. Common examples include price increases of basic necessities after natural disasters. A recent event I found interesting is a story about the Colvin brothers from Tennessee. Noah and Matt started selling products on Amazon in 2015. Since then, they turned their one-time hobby into a six-figure salary. In early February, as headlines announced the coronavirus has spread in China, they spotted a chance to capitalize. A nearby liquidation firm was selling 2,000 pandemic packs, which are leftovers from a defunct company. Each came with 50 face masks, 4 small bottles of hand sanitizer, and a thermometer. The price was $5 a pack, but after a little haggling, the brothers got the seller down to $3.50 a pack and bought them all. They quickly sold 2,000 of the 50 packs of masks on eBay, pricing them from $40 to $50 each and sometimes even higher. On March 1st, the day after the first coronavirus death was announced in the United States, brothers Matt and Noah went out to pick up some hand sanitizer. Driving around Chattanooga, Tennessee, they hit a Dollar Tree, a Walmart, a Staples, and a Home Depot. At each store, they cleaned out the shelves. Over the next 3 days, Noah Colvin took a 1,300-mile road trip across Tennessee and into Kentucky, filling a U-Haul truck with thousands of bottles of hand sanitizer and thousands of packs of antibacterial wipes. Matt Colvin stayed home near Chattanooga, preparing for the pallets of even more wipes and hand sanitizer that he ordered and started to list them on Amazon. The brothers had posted 300 bottles of hand sanitizer and immediately sold them all between $8 and $70, multiples higher than what they actually bought them for. To them, it was crazy money, but for the many others, it was considered profiteering from the pandemic. The Colvins tried to take full advantage of the pandemic by attempting to manipulate the prices in the anti-disinfectant market. Initially, the strategy worked. For several weeks, prices soared for some of the top results to searches for sanitizer, masks, and wipes on Amazon. This situation is the perfect example of ethical egoism. The next day, Amazon pulled their items and thousands of other listings for sanitizer, wipes, and face masks. The company suspended some of the sellers behind the listings and warned many others that if they kept running up prices, they'd lose their accounts. eBay soon followed with even stricter measures, prohibiting any U.S. sales of masks or hand sanitizers. Amazon, eBay, Walmart, and other online commerce platforms are trying to stop sellers from making excessive profits from a public health crisis. Noah and Matt have no authority over the online retailers. While companies aim to discourage people from hoarding such products and jacking up their prices, many sellers had already cleared out their local stores and started selling the goods online. The consequences of their actions forced both physical and digital shelves to be nearly empty. After taking backlash, Noah and Matt decided to donate all of their products. Now, Ayn Rand's view on it. Capitalism, according to Rand, is a social system in which the government's only role to protect individual rights. Rand argues that their view of rights had never been fully defined and defended, and as a result, it was vulnerable to attack by anti-capitalists who both inflated the concept of rights to include such notions as the right to do a job or the right to medical care, and who declared that the government should override individual rights for the sake of the common good. According to this statement, Ayn Rand would side with the Colvin brothers in this situation. She would argue that it is their individual right to price gouge these products and make a profit, as that is what the market dictates at the time. Lifeboat ethics is a metaphor for resource distribution proposed by ecologist Garrett Hardin in 1974. Hardin asserts that the spaceship model leads to a tragedy of the commons. In contrast, the lifeboat metaphor presents individual lifeboats as rich nations and the swimmers as poor nations. Garrett Hardin would also side with the Colvin brothers in this situation due to the fact that they're doing what they can do to survive. The brothers look at third-party selling as a living, and Even though it might not seem ethical to price gouge in this time of disaster, Hardin would argue that they are doing what they need to do to survive and make a living. Finally, Robert Nozick and his entitlement theory. Robert Nozick developed the entitlement theory, which states that anyone who acquired what he has acquired is morally entitled to it. Therefore, Nozick would also side with the Colvin brothers. Although they are not doing what is morally right for the public, they worked hard to acquire as much product as possible, so they're entitled to selling it for whatever price the market shows. That's my project.